Once, long ago, there ruled a very powerful man by the name of Jove. Some called this man a god, others a demon, though he was very much so a god. His ways were always controversial. He never leaned more toward evil than righteousness, nor toward righteousness more than evil. And in the midst of all the chaos, there was always some sort of peace. For decades, he made the world turn as smooth as it did from one day to the other. Whenever in doubt, or in need of a second, third, or fourth opinion, he called upon three of his most trusted guards, Ares, Damon, who harnessed water, Kratos, Vince, harnessed earth, and Cyrus, Frank, harnessed the fire element into electricity. All three with white wings, gold wristbands, and branded tattoos symbolizing their loyalty to Jove. All three guardians protected Jove since the beginning of time. Each one of them were very ready and very willing to give their lives for Jove without a second's thought. At this time, all was well and functioning in the world. But before long, Jove grew tired, sick of the species he protected on Earth, from decade to decade. Watching them fight and torture to no end, the Fae, Vamps, humans, elves, and so on. He grew cold at the thought of protecting them any longer. The day came that he called upon his three guardians, and gave a single request they would never forget. A request to end it all. To extinguish all life on Earth. Jove would have done it himself, but he was rendered useless to this kind of choice by a higher power. A power greater than even Jove himself. The three guardians looked at each other, nodded, folded their wings, and fell to Earth. Once there, they did not carry out Jove's orders. They knew there was something more to Earth than what Jove had seen. Some would argue that the Guardians could have run the heavens themselves, and should have. The Guardians stayed on Earth and devised a plan to overrule Jove, to save what was left of this broken world and fix it. They began spreading the word of Jove and his plan to end Earth, warning that they were the reapers as they went. Many laughed and waved them off, only very few believing the Guardians and improving their ways. A day came where all three were ripped back to the heavens, placed on their knees before Jove. You have disobeyed my orders, and in doing so, you have put your wives and kin in a very life-threatening situation, stated Jove, as he pointed at the Guardians' families, all at the mercy of executioners' blades. The brothers were enraged, but quickly silenced by Jove. His power was more than the three of theirs combined, and rendered their bodies useless, immobile as they were forced to listen to Jove. He then told the brothers of how they will obey his orders, and forever terminate Earth, or suffer the eternal consequences. The bond of their loved ones broken, and their guardian bands ripped from their wrists. He then released the brothers as they fell back to Earth, each one of them glowing like meteors as they crashed into the solid ground. The brothers, once back on Earth, began to argue. But no one could come up with a plan to save Earth and their wives and kin at the same time. Finally, two came up with a solution. These two were Kratos and Cyrus. They covered how to free their loved ones and defeat Jove. If Jove was killed first, executioners and all who followed Jove would fall as well. Ares, Damon, was never for this plan, and called them fools, though Ares would assist them if this is what they wished. And so it was. The Guardians attacked, but Jove saw them coming, and threw all of his followers in the heavens before them. The brothers knew to get to Jove, they had to go through the followers first, and so for generations they fought. The brothers knew Jove would never kill their families, because Jove knew if he did, the brothers would stop and want their own lives taken as well. And in turn, Jove would never be able to eliminate Earth. And so the Guardians drew closer to Jove, ever closer to killing him and retrieving their families. And the three brothers became confident, knowing it would not be long before it was all over. But Jove would not have it this way. He became aware of his impending defeat as the brothers grew closer, and he began to realize the brothers would kill him. The brothers were still unsure of this final outcome, though Jove knew this is how it would be. With the brothers' combined power, and the power higher than Jove, the one preventing him from eliminating Earth itself, would eventually kill him. He sent for the executioners and gave one final order. The order to eliminate the families. The brothers, still fighting, stopped. And each one of them, at that second, something broke. They were no longer encouraged to win the war, no longer encouraged to do anything. Their worlds went black as they fell to the ground, unconscious and weak. Jove parted the crowd as he approached, looking at them before his feet, and stated to his followers how the three brothers had blindly turned against Jove, lying to his followers, and telling them the brothers sought to be gods and rule themselves. With that, Jove took the brothers right to the heavens away, bleeding them of their white clothes, all to black. He then parted the clouds, and once again fell the brothers to earth for the last time, to stay and wander upon the Fae, the Vamps, the humans, and so on. Jove never did get to destroy Earth, due to the sacrifice the three have made. They now wander Earth, knowing what they have done for the people of Earth, and never forgetting the sacrifice it took. Vince and Frank, the brothers who were for the plan to overthrow Jove, and save their families, kept in contact. Vince has now moved on and preaches about Jove to the humans and others, gathering an army to one day overthrow Jove once and for all. Frank is now converted to vampirism and is starting a new life with his wife, a Fae by the name of Whisper. As for Eretz, or now Damon, after the brothers fell, he was never to be seen again. Some believe he has abandoned Frank and Vince, still believing their sacrifice for Earth was in vain, believing Earth should have died, not his family. This is the story of three who sacrificed all they had for something they knew little about, but knew in their hearts it was right no matter what the odds. Few will ever know what the brothers have done, though many live with the reward.